I would want you to tell me prior to walking around town implying it. The little underhanded, like those comments, I'm not cool with them ever. If you look over at
Melody and Kimmy have clashed before, but this time, it got real. It wasn't just petty drama or behind-the-scenes gossip. This was personal. Some fans think the tension had been building for a while, with old issues never fully resolved. Others believe it was all about power, a strategic move to shift control. Was this feud driven by deep resentment, or was there something bigger at play? Maybe both. One thing's for sure, this wasn't just another argument. It had layers, history, and consequences. So, what really went down between them? Let's break it all down and get to the truth. Melody wasn't just another cast member. She was the star. The one who made things exciting, stirred up drama, and kept fans hooked. From day one, she knew how to play the game. She built the right friendships, made sure the biggest storylines were about her, and always stayed in the spotlight. Whether it was through bold alliances, shocking betrayals, or jaw-dropping moments, she had a way of making every episode about her. She didn't just go along with the drama, she controlled it. For a long time, Melody's influence made her untouchable. If she turned on someone, the rest of the cast usually followed. People knew better than to get on her bad side, because once they did, they were in trouble. She shaped the narrative, decided who was in and who was out, and always had the fans on her side. Her power wasn't just about popularity, it was about control. And anyone who crossed her, they found out the hard way just how much power she really had. Melody was always the one in control, deciding who was in, who was out, and shaping how everyone saw the drama. But power like that never lasts forever. Over time, cracks started to show. Some of her closest allies began questioning her moves. Instead of blindly following her lead, they started making their own decisions, and not all of them worked in her favor. The trust she once had started to fade, and the whispers of doubt turned into open conversations. Rumors spread, talk of backstabbing, secret deals, and shifting alliances. Maybe Melody wasn't as untouchable as she thought. Then came the betrayals. One by one, the people she trusted began to pull away. Some called her manipulative, while others just got tired of playing by her rules. The empire she had built was falling apart, and the loyalty she once commanded was disappearing. The alliances that had kept her at the top were crumbling, and people were no longer afraid to challenge her. The whispers of her downfall weren't just rumors anymore. They were turning into reality. At first, Melody brushed it off. She had faced drama before and always found a way to bounce back. But this time was different. The power shift wasn't coming from her usual rivals, it was happening inside her own circle. The people who once had her back were now stepping away. Conversations were happening without her, and plans were being made that didn't include her input. She wasn't used to being left out, and for the first time in a long time, Melody wasn't the one pulling the strings. The control she had always counted on was slipping away, and the question was, could she get it back? Or was this the beginning of the end? Melody thought she had everything under control, but the real threat wasn't coming from where she expected. It was coming from someone she had completely overlooked. Then, out of nowhere, Kimmy made a move that shocked everyone. She flipped the game and exposed a truth that left the whole cast speechless. For years, Kimmy had been the quiet one.
Made it clear to me that when it came to his ongoing case, you didn't really want to have discussions surrounding that. So I said, again, trying to
didn't fight for attention or chase the spotlight. While others were wrapped up in drama, she played it smart, watching, listening, and waiting. Melody thrived in chaos, but Kimmy stayed out of it, choosing her battles wisely. That didn't mean she wasn't paying attention. She was. Every move, every crack in Melody's alliances, every shift in power, Kimmy noticed it all. While Melody was busy running the show, Kimmy was figuring out how to take it apart. She saw the little betrayals, the fake friendships, and the quiet power struggles happening behind the scenes. And when the moment was right, she struck. This wasn't just another feud, it was a power shift. Kimmy wasn't just calling out Melody, she was challenging the entire system that had kept her in the background for so long. She knew if she wanted real change, She had to make a move so big that no one could ignore it. And then, she did. Whether it was exposing a hidden truth, calling out shady alliances, or turning the cast against Melody, Kimmy's move sent shockwaves through the show. Fans were stunned. Cast members scrambled to pick sides. And for the first time, Melody wasn't leading the charge, she was on the defensive. She was used to controlling the game, but now the game was changing around her. The balance of power had shifted, and nothing would ever be the same again. What if I told you that the person who took Melody down wasn't some longtime enemy, but someone she actually trusted? With all the fights, drama, and shifting alliances that made Melody such a dominant force on the show, her biggest downfall didn't come from an outsider. It came from within her own circle, and that made it hurt even more. At first, everything seemed normal. Melody had her loyal squad, the ones who had stuck by her side through all the ups and downs. She thought their loyalty was unshakable. But what she didn't realize was that one of them had already flipped. They weren't just thinking about turning on her, they were planning it. And when the time was right, they made their move. Kimmy didn't just throw Melody under the bus, she played the long game. She didn't act out of anger or desperation. She watched, waited, and struck at the perfect moment. While Melody was busy keeping control, Kimmy was figuring out how to take it away. And when she did, it wasn't just another reality TV fight, it was a complete power shift. Melody, once untouchable, was now the one scrambling to keep up. The game had changed, and for the first time, she wasn't the one calling the shots. Kimmy wasn't just sitting back, she was watching, listening, and collecting every piece of information she needed. She knew exactly what she was doing. And when the time was right, she dropped a bomb no one saw coming. It wasn't just Melody who was caught off guard, the whole cast was shaken. Secrets that had been buried for years suddenly spilled out. Private conversations, hidden alliances, shady backdoor deals, Kimmy had the receipts. Even Melody's closest friends started second-guessing everything they thought they knew. But here's the thing, this wasn't just some random act of betrayal. Rumors started swirling that this takedown wasn't spontaneous. Some believed Kimmy and a few others had been secretly plotting this for months, setting the stage for Melody's downfall. Was it a calculated move to shake up the power structure? Or was it years of bottled-up frustration finally boiling over? Either way, one thing was clear, Melody's reign had taken a serious hit, and this time, there was no bouncing back.
I anticipate Kiki moments. I take them on the chin, but when I give them back, then it's a problem. When you decide that it's reasonable.
But just when fans thought they had seen it all, Kimmy did something that changed reality TV forever. In one of the most shocking moments in the show's history, she broke the fourth wall. Instead of staying caught up in the drama, she turned away from the cast, looked straight into the camera, and exposed the truth. She called out the producers, revealing how they manipulated storylines, protected certain cast members, and twisted reality to fit their narrative. She didn't just hint at it, she laid it all out. The cast was stunned. The audience was in disbelief. This was the kind of moment that changed everything. Fans started questioning everything they had ever watched on the show. Was anything real? Had they been fooled this whole time? Kimmy didn't just shake up the drama, she shattered the entire foundation of reality TV. And in that moment, the lines between entertainment and real life became blurrier than ever. Melody had lost everything, or so it seemed. But if anyone thought she was going to stay down, they were dead wrong. While Kimmy had exposed her secrets, Melody had been working in silence, gathering her own receipts and planning the perfect comeback. And when the moment was right, she hit back hard. It all started with a cryptic post on social media. At first, it was vague, but the message was clear. There was more to the story than what had played out on camera. Melody hinted at something bigger, something deeper, a setup that went beyond just her and Kimmy. Fans were instantly hooked, scrambling to figure out what she meant. Was she talking about behind-the-scenes manipulation? Did she have proof that could flip the entire feud upside down? Then came the bombshell, the leaked recordings. And these weren't just any recordings. They were audio clips that exposed a secret plan involving Kimmy. The tapes revealed conversations between producers and key cast members, proving that Kimmy's big move may not have been entirely her own. Instead, it looked like she had been guided, even used, to create the drama. As fans processed the shock, Melody doubled down. She started dropping more hints, teasing that the recordings were just the beginning. She claimed there was even more evidence that would expose just how much of the show had been orchestrated.
Reasonable for you to talk about whatever it was you heard, but when we talk about what we heard, then we're in trouble. We're in trouble, and we gotta have a meeting with Mel.
No.
Suddenly, the feud between her and Kimmy didn't seem so black and white. People began to wonder, had Kimmy truly outplayed Melody, or had she been a pawn in a much bigger game? Just like that, everything changed again. Fans were in disbelief. Had Kimmy really been in control, or was she just another piece in a larger plan? Melody's comeback wasn't just about defending herself, it was about exposing the truth. And with these new revelations, the entire story was starting to unravel. Reality TV had never felt this real. The recordings changed everything. Melody wasn't the villain here. She hadn't just been betrayed by Kimmy, she had been set up from the very beginning. The producers had been pulling the strings all along, creating the drama, and Kimmy, whether she knew it or not, had played right into their hands. But Melody wasn't about to sit back and take the hit. Armed with hard evidence, she launched a full-on campaign to take back her power. This wasn't just about clearing her name, it was about exposing the truth and making sure everyone knew who had really been calling the shots. She started dropping more details, hinting that the producers had been playing multiple cast members against each other for the sake of ratings. Fans were stunned. If this was true, it meant the drama they had been watching for years wasn't as real as they had thought. As the story unfolded, Melody made it clear she wasn't just fighting for herself. She wanted to pull back the curtain on how reality TV really worked. The fans rallied behind her, eager to see their queen reclaim her throne. Could she flip the script and prove once and for all that she was still the one in control? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain. This wasn't just another reality TV feud. It was about power, control, and the hidden hands shaping the game. And if Melody had anything to say about it, she was about to change the game for good. So, who really came out on top? Was it Melody, who refused to go down without a fight and came back with explosive truths? Was it Kimmy, who stayed quiet, played her cards right, and ended up in the spotlight? Or was it the producers, who may have been orchestrating everything behind the scenes to keep the drama alive and the fans glued to their screens? When you take a step back, it's clear this wasn't just another reality TV feud. It was a battle for control. For years, Melody was the star, the one who dictated the narrative and controlled the alliances. But Kimmy's sudden rise signaled a shift. Was this a natural change in power, or had the producers been planning this all along? Maybe Melody's dominance had simply run its course, and Kimmy saw the perfect opening to step into the role. Or maybe, just maybe, this was all part of a bigger plan to shake up the show and keep fans invested. But the real impact wasn't just on Melody and Kimmy, it was on the fans themselves. This feud changed how people viewed the show. Suddenly, viewers weren't just watching for the drama, they were questioning what was real and what was being crafted for entertainment. Social media exploded with debates, theories, and divided opinions. One fan summed it up perfectly. Kimmy played the long game and won. She stayed in the background, waited for the perfect moment, and now she's the one running things. Another added, I thought Melody was untouchable, but she got exposed. Now the whole show feels different. At the end of the day, the real winner wasn't just one person. Whether it was Melody, Kimmy, or the producers, one thing was clear, this was one of the biggest power shifts in reality TV history. And nothing would ever be the same again.
Again, when we're gonna have a conversation, most of my conversation in that moment was, no, I don't want to talk about that.
Because you had made it.
I hope Melody can bounce back from this, but honestly, I'm not sure if she can. Just when it felt like the drama had peaked, something even bigger was about to come out. The stakes had never been higher, and the big question was, who would come out on top? Would Melody find a way to take back her spot, Or had Kimmy officially taken over as the new queen of reality TV? The showdown between them wasn't just messy, it changed everything. The betrayal, the shocking truths, and the power shift turned the whole show upside down. Fans were left in shock, and the cast was scrambling to adjust. But here's the thing, this isn't over. The fallout from this fight is just getting started, and in the coming weeks, things are only going to get wilder. For years, Melody controlled the game. She decided who was in, who was out, and how the drama played out. But now, that power is slipping. Kimmy's rise to the top wasn't random, it was calculated. She waited, watched, and made her move at the perfect time. And now, she's the one everyone is talking about. But Melody isn't one to back down. She's been quietly gathering her own receipts, ready to flip the script once again. If there's one thing we know about her, it's that she knows how to turn the tables. Will she find a way to reclaim her throne, or has Kimmy truly secured her spot at the top? New alliances are forming, secret deals are being made, and with the producers still pulling strings behind the scenes, anything is possible. What do you think? Is this Melody's big comeback, or has Kimmy officially taken over? Drop your thoughts below.